When did you start smoking?
I vividly remember this. It was, I think my sophomore year in high school. And the reason I remember was because it was, it was also my mom bought me a guinea pig that day. We were at like a pet shop, and I was like, "That looks cool." And she was like, "Oh, I'll get it for you." And I was like, "Cool." And I called my friend. I was like, "Hey, I got a guinea pig," and they were like, "What? Come over. We're getting high." It was just the collision of like, "Hey, I'm still a kid," and they're like, "Okay, idiot."
We're not.
Yeah, true. What happened when you got high? Were you like, what did I do? Why'd I get a guinea pig?
Yeah, I remember coming home and still being pretty high and looking at it and being like, this was a mistake.
Why do I own a being?
How long did that guinea pig last?
Oh, not long.
Yeah.
Welcome to Wolf Family Therapy. The doctors today are Jamie and Tyler, and the appointment will start briefly. Thank you for patiently waiting. The brothers will see you now.
Sam, how many brothers do you have?
I have 2 older brothers.
Yeah.
So you're the young one?
I'm the youngest.
But I didn't read that. I kind of got an older brother vibe.
I appreciate that. I'm grateful for that. Thank you. I'm grateful for that.
How much older are they? They can't be much older.
Sort of. My oldest brother's 6 years older, and then the middle brother's 4 years older. So I'm a little bit of the runt.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of my...
It's similar to us. Yeah.
Reese is 5.5. You're 4.
3.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of... Did you like that growing up? Probably just got wailed
Were you a
on.
punching bag?
No, because I was
No?
a crybaby.
Oh.
So I got wailed on. But one, it wasn't undeserved. I was a shit, like a little asshole.
Yeah.
And so I would like instigate fights and stuff like that, but then I would just cry my way out of it. Yeah. My brother,
That's classic younger brother
Excellent
shit.
strategy.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. And I do remember my dad one time like getting in my face and being like, because I was like, "No, Josh," and he's like, "Well, what did you do? What the fuck did you?" He didn't swear, but he just like wised up to it. He was like, "I know you did something." So yeah. I was not.
That's not good if they're on to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Then you have no recourse.
But yeah, I had 2 older brothers, and they were.
What was your main method of annoyance, if you had a particular one?
Just being where I shouldn't be. I had a real problem with boundaries.
Okay.
So like in their rooms, that's like the stake,
Yeah.
With
And
you're older, right?
No, I'm older.
You're older.
Yeah.
Oh,
We have
okay.
an older brother, me, Jamie,
Yeah.
and our sister.
Did you have the like, "Don't come in my room"? Like, this is my line.
Reese did.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you inevitably cross it.
Yeah. I stole my... Wait, what were you... You were telling a story?
No, I was just like stuff like that, or like taking what was not mine. Yeah.
I was about to tell a story about that. One time I went into Reese's room, which you're not allowed to do. They were gone. You guys were gone. I think you guys had baseball practice, and I was too young. And I went into his room, and I went into a coat, and I stole $20.
You stole money from him.
Stole money.
Stole money.
And 20 was like so much at that time in your life. You think you're like rich now. And so I thought it was like this humongous deal. And Reese noticed.
Yeah.
Because he has $28 and 20 of it is missing.
It's not like an offshore checking account.
Where did
he's like,
half of my money go? So he noticed, and he cornered me, as he did if like something went missing like this, and was like, "Did you take it? Did you take it? Did you take it?" And I never broke.
Really?
And he beat up our sister for taking the money.
he beat up your sister.
Yes, because he was like, it must have been her. Whoa. And he beat her up, and I never gave it back, and I never confessed. And to this day, I feel
And
so bad.
Jamie invested it, and it's worth $8 million now.
Your sister's going to hear this podcast.
And that was the beginning of Google.
Whoa.
No, so...
Did you ever confess to your sister?
No.
Wow.
I've never even said that until now.
Wow.
I just lied my way out. I remember it was on the porch, and he like brought it up and like he thought he was being slick. He's like, "Yeah, I just like lost money. Like, has anyone seen like money?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Really?
You, Jamie?
You haven't seen money?
You haven't seen money?
Yeah."
Did
And
you
it
find
slowly
money?
like narrowed into he thought I stole it and was trying to bring it up in a way.
Sure.
And
That's slick.
And he just like he would beat the shit out of us. So he like pinned me down on the porch and was like, "Did you steal the money?" And normally at that point I'd be like, "Yeah, I took it." And then he would like hit me and then like go take it back. But I never broke that time. You know,
How long did you have to hold it where he was like on top of
a
you?
while. It was kind of impressive.
There's a shakedown from the mom.
Yeah.
But he's like an 8-year-old. Did you take the money? Did you take Where is it?
Well, dude, he was. You're going to be 6 feet deep. 6 feet deep.
feet under.
If you don't give it back. No, he didn't. Just as a kid, a mobster. You're going in the river.
Child gangster.
I'm tying your waist to
swimming
a-
with
Will
the-
we see
with the fishes.
Swimming with the fishies.
That's really funny.
So I never confessed, and she got beat the fuck up. I felt so bad, and I never confessed because you can't confess after. That's when I'm like, there's no benefit.
Yeah,
to
there's
me.
no going
I have
back.
$20. She'll just hate me, and he'll hate me.
That's true. And
So-
it makes it all meaningless.
Yes.
At least she suffered so that you could enjoy.
have the money. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least there's that.
Do you have any memory of what you did with the $20?
I don't remember at all. I think I believe I bought like a Yu-Gi-Oh card that I wanted.
Wow.
Yeah. So scumbag because back then, like getting beat up by Reese, that's like the your relationships falling apart of being 6, you know? Mm-hmm. Because it's such a big deal in your life.
What, to get beat up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if I went through a breakup now, that's how important getting beat up back then felt.
Yeah.
So it's so fucked up to just for one Yu-Gi-Oh card to let her face that evil, horrible. It's literally like if you were like, do you want $40 for your best friend to get divorced? And you'd be like, yeah.
Where is your sister age-wise in relation to Reese?
We're twins.
You and your sister are twins.
So she's 5.5 years younger.
5.5. And how old was your brother then?
I think he was like 11 or 12.
Okay.
We
So
You guys were like
6.
kindergartners, first graders?
Yeah, we were 6 or something.
In my mind, I was like a high schooler, so I was like, "Oh, okay." So a man showed up
No.
and beat your sister.
We thought he was a man, but no, not really. Yeah, that would be different.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it was like 12, and because he stopped beating us up when he was like 14, probably.
That's good
Maybe a
of him.
little older than that.
yeah. Do you look at that like pictures now of like your brother then,
Yeah,
and you're like, "Oh, that's who I
Heart
was."
starts beating
scared
faster?
of.
Oh, the
Yeah.
opposite.
Yeah, well, no, because you do viscerally remember like terrifying and
Yeah.
like would like physically dominate me, and then you're like, "Oh, but it was like this kid."
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
chubby kid.
yeah.
With like a Bieber swoosh, kind of. Like, Jamie's like, "Oh, I'll get the money for you next week."
It's so funny too because like everyone loved him as a kid. Like everyone thought of him as the good kid, and I always secretly, when I was like 6 and 7, I was like, I know the real him. Like you're not seeing the real Reese.
He's
all up
not
in front.
nice.
Yeah,
He's a liar.
yeah.
Yeah.
Were you close with your brothers when you were like kids, even though they were a little older?
No, I wanted to be. I was
Like wished you were in the
You were a
group?
little too young, I bet, to
Yeah.
be in that group.
And now I like both of my brothers, but my oldest brother I'm pretty close with, I would say. Or at least like we don't talk all the time, but like generally like when I visit them, I'm like excited. It very recently started feeling like, oh, this is like my friend now.
Nice.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, that's great. What does he do?
He teaches Spanish at Central Oregon Community College.
Wow.
He's this year he's the head of the Spanish department.
Central Oregon?
Yeah.
Wow.
Bend, Oregon. Have you been?
Yeah, I know
Ski
Bend.
town.
Yeah, Bend is nice.
Yeah. So,
I mean, not nice, but it's
Sure.
It's a nice area around there. The Cascades.
It is, yeah. Actually, a
very
big complaint. My brother and his wife, like the cost of living has skyrocketed.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like the
Ooh.
richest families from
Yes,
California
yes.
just buy these
Yep.
winter, summer homes, you know?
fucked.
And yeah, it's kind of messed up. But congratulations, Senor Evans.
What did you think? When you were like a kid, like, did you picture him going into that?
No, I thought he was like the tits. I thought he was so cool.
Yeah.
Because he played like music, and that was a big thing when you talk about like trespassing and boundaries.
Oh,
before I ever had musical instruments, I would like sneak in to play his bass guitar.
Ooh,
because that's a big guitar.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was like very much crossing boundaries, but I would do it because that's how bad I wanted it. Yeah.
What did you end up playing? Did you like want to do that and you started playing?
Yeah,
bass?
I had a bass guitar eventually, and like it was sort of the same thing. Like you played in bands in high school. We were
Yeah?
we weren't very athletic kids.
What were some of your band names?
Oh, buddy, don't mess with Texas.
Was one of them?
Was one of them. And then,
And you're from Toledo?
yeah, Ohio. See, it's ironic, guys. What else? The big one was in high school. Our band was called Groove Stump. It was groove as in music, stump as in tree, and we would say that at our live shows.
Groove is in music.
You have to explain the name every time.
Yeah. That was the big one. Like my last 2 or 3 years of high school, I was in Groove Stump.
Was that like, because there's two ways that being in a band in high school can go. One is like, dude, he's like the punk, the cool band kid. And then there's also like just a loser in a band.
I would tell you it was the cool one, but
okay.
looking back, it doesn't seem cool. And it was good. Like our friends would come out to like shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Were you doing original music or covers?
It was like a split the difference. We would do a lot of jam bandy / classic rock shit.
Nice.
But then we did have like a bunch of somewhere I could probably find. I could text 1 or 2 guys to find our EP that we recorded. Oh, big deal. EP. Yeah.
Whoa.
And then
Yeah, it was fun.
what gigs are you getting? Because I don't remember anyone in high school ever, besides like the gigs at high school, like the coffee house open mic night.
Yeah, were you on the road? Like, did you have groupies or roadies?
Not on the road.
12-year-old roadies?
We had like girls that were like, "Your band's so cool."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you were a cool band.
Yeah, that's a cool
Yeah.
band for sure.
Yeah, it was fun. We played. Some of the guys were in the Catholic high school across town, so we played that high school's homecoming. There was this venue that was like friendly to kids. It was called.
You played a homecoming?
That sounds like a
pretty
big
impressive.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
How many kids were at the school? Was it like a big 200?
Comparable in size to our public high school. So
Wow,
my
that's-
graduating class was like 350 people.
That's pretty big, dude.
Yeah.
Everyone's at homecoming, so it's like 1,000 people.
I guess so. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I was lost in the music.
Yeah. Damn right you were.
That's cool. What did you play? Wait, sorry, did we already cover this? Fuck.
Bass?
Was it bass?
in Groove Stump? I played piano, keyboards, and then I sang.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, damn,
yeah,
you
you
mixed it
do
up.
play piano. I forgot
play
that.
piano.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I always used to. Yeah. You play. I totally forgot. So you play piano, and then what did you say with the second one?
I sang. I was the singer.
Oh, you were the lead.
I was the lead singer.
Oof.
Yeah.
Which was the bigger of the two? Don't mess or was it Groove Stump?
Groove Stump? Groove Stump was the bigger.
Was a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
they-
name helps.
It really does. Yeah. It sets you
helps.
apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We would have talked to Groove Stump. Are you going?
Yeah.
Like, because it
going to the
just sounds
show?
cooler. No, we wouldn't say, "Are you going to Don't Mess with Texas?" That would have been.
We'd be like, "Pff, you hear Don't Mess with Texas is having a performance this weekend.
Exactly.
I actually vividly remember
moms
Don't Mess
are
with
gonna
Texas.
go.
We played, they had like a school talent show, and Don't Mess with Texas played that. And then I remember 2 weeks later, there was this, I'll never forget, his name's Casey Latcham. Casey, if you see this, you're a piece of shit. And it was like we were out, I think at like a football game, me and my friends, and he's like 2 or 3 years older, and he like stopped me in front of all my friends, and he was like, "Hey, Sam Evans," and I was like, "Yeah," and he goes, "Your band fucking sucks." And just
Really?
yeah,
Oh shit.
Damn.
just like was an asshole
What a
to me
dick,
for no
dude.
reason. Yeah.
How long? Because similar to like a sibling beating you up, that probably felt like the worst.
Yeah,
How
that
long
was
after
big.
that did the band fold?
Not
I could see that just
long.
crumpling. Yeah, just like guys, I think we
The next
suck.
practice.
You guys fucking suck. This band sucks, and I decided it independently.
I decided it. Yeah. We're not gonna make it. What are we even doing?
Yeah.
A week later, you're in Groove Stump. Just a week later.
Sure. No, it was. It did fold pretty quickly, and then
Wow.
it wasn't until a couple years later. I would still play music with my friend Matt, and then we met like a couple other guys that went to that Catholic high school that were like really good.
What caused was there drama when you broke up? Was it just kind of a slow dissolution?
There was some drama, yeah, because
Like a girl?
Gotta be drama.
not even girl drama. It was
Lack of commitment.
It was artistic direction.
No
way. Because we started out playing like a bunch of different stuff and covers, and then one day our friend John showed up, and he was like, "I only want to do punk music. I think what we're doing sucks." And me and my friend Dose were like, "What the fuck, man?" It was you will not believe how like intense of debates we had about
It's like the Stones breaking up.
truly. Yeah.
Jesus.
And credit to my friend John, he played in like punk bands for the rest of like high school.
So he found his calling.
Yeah. He really did. Like, as silly as that seems, it really was like no, I think I want to do this.
For the rest of high school, did he?
He gradually started playing like more. He plays like a lot of like Americana type stuff now. He still plays music to this day.
shit.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's like
That's cool.
his day. He's a social worker for his day job, but like he lives in Detroit and like has played in bands there for like the better part of 10 or 15 years.
Cool.
Yeah. He's really good.
It's like a good music scene too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, good
My
for
friend,
him.
John Salvage, if you're listening, check him out. He's great. But Casey Latcham, piece of shit.
It's funny how that sticks with you. Like
Truly.
20 something years later, you're just like, oof, God,
Yeah.
that pain.
Yeah. It even
Fucking suck.
the nice thing though is like now I can be like, oh, that is like just the peak of like, why would you be that mean to someone for no reason?
Yeah,
you know?
no reason at all. Because you know it hurts. That's why.
Yeah.
That's literally why.
Yeah.
You get a tiny hit out of knowing
Sure.
that they actually
Because
feel
you were
bad.
like a 9th or 10th grader, so he was probably like, I can ruin this guy's entire freshman year.
Yeah.
if I tell him
If
this.
that, I might have still been in like middle school or something. It was rough.
It's like when people drive by and they just yell faggot at you.
Yeah.
You're just like,
100%.
What's the point of that? But
Yeah,
as
who is
in-
getting anything out of any
in
of this?
high school, we would do that, and I don't know. I don't know why. We didn't even get anything out of it.
Sure.
That was what you did.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. I did that for sure.
Yeah.
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 It's not good, but yeah,
You're
you do it.
walking?
Yeah, you're walking.
We got a car.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, guess what that makes
He's like,
you.
I'm walking to my car. Why are you? You guys do that too.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting. Yeah, people can be so mean on purpose for the specific reason to hurt your feelings, which adults just aren't really. Not in that
Not
way.
like that.
I don't
Yeah.
think. I mean, they're more passive aggressive. Like,
But no,
adults
not just
try
like,
to,
I'm just going to say something mean
Yeah.
for really no reason
yeah.
whatsoever.
Who does that? I mean, do you know? I don't know anyone that does that.
No, not really.
But it's more, it's
It's a kid thing.
definitely more into passive aggression in
Yeah.
adulthood. Yeah.
Which is way more annoying to deal with because at least when someone's just rude, you know who they are. And as an adult, you can be like, he said this to me. What the fuck kind of a guy is he?
Yeah.
Whereas if they're passive aggressive, you can't really explain it to people. You're like, he just said it with like a weird energy.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
and then
true.
it's like, if you call them on it, they're like, they can just be like,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
What are you talking
I'm just
about?
talking to you. And you're like,
He
cool.
said, good job, but you could tell he didn't mean it. So
God.
something weird
You
about
come
it.
up
He
against
said
that
good
so,
set, but like the
Yeah.
way he said it, it was like condescending.
Yeah.
yeah. So much in comedy where like it's just so much passive aggression and you're like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. right
Yeah,
now.
in comedy,
Big
it's
time.
so annoying.
Big time.
To you, do you feel that?
I feel that all the time. Yeah. And in some ways, and I will go to friends and be like, do you think that I am putting this on this person? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And sometimes I do think I do that. But other times you like, I mean, I'm not going to name drop, but there are people who say like passive aggressive shit where you're like, fuck you. I know what you're doing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Who? No. It's still Casey. Actually,
Casey
Casey Latcham does that a lot. Not a comedian, but he does that.
He still just DMs me. Your comedy fucking sucks.
I'm like, dude, it's been like 20
What
years.
the hell, man?
Get over it.
He's like, yeah, I'm not doing well.
What he's like, your comedy
mostly
sucks.
about
Your
me.
band was pretty good. I was wrong.
Looking
I was
back,
kidding about that. You should have stuck with the band. That would be brutal. If now he was like, I was just saying that. I thought it was so good. I was
Yeah, I was
jealous.
so jealous
I
of
think
you.
you could have made it, man. But you shouldn't do comedy.
Yeah. Your comedy is bad.
But your comedy sucked. No, that was just wondering because I feel, well, I did that to you the first time we met. You were on my show at the Soho Playhouse.
Okay.
Do you remember this?
I sincerely don't.
Exactly.
You were passive aggressive?
That's what. No. I projected that onto you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I totally
wow.
projected it. One person actually totally was in a crazy way where I can't look at them the same.
Uh-huh.
It was because I was like just total open micer. It was like my first show I was
And they
running.
were shitty to you?
Literally
They were
first show
they were
ever.
I'm gonna
quite rude.
I'm gonna make you tell me who after.
After, yeah.
Okay.
But they were rude in a way where I was like, what the hell was that?
Mm-hmm.
She was, well,
you just narrowed it down
This-
to 20% of comedians.
this person,
I will say I have had multiple people say that to me before
Yeah.
where they're like, I thought you fucking hated me.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I have a tendency to be like so either in my own head or just absent-minded about what I'm doing that I don't register that somebody's taking something in a.
Well, there was no reason to. It's also because you might have registered it in a way of this is a normal interaction. And to me at that time, I was like, this is Sam Evans. He's like the best comedian I know. So it was like an important interaction to me.
Sure.
And you just didn't care. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I was probably.
Because it was just an open mic or
No, it was
who's
just like
running
a bad show.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like a bad, shitty show.
Yeah.
So he's just like, yeah,
was in the
thanks
basement of the
thank
Soho
you for having me.
Playhouse, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And there was like 15, 20 people there.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, forever. But it was
Yeah.
like 5-6 years ago.
Sure.
But I was like, so do you want to go up first or last? And you were on your phone because we were outside, and you were like, oh, just wherever is fine. And like I took that as like a fuck you, get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah. And in my head, I'm like, no, I'm just being agreeable.
And I know in your head you're like, because now I'm like, that's helpful. He can go up whenever. But back then I'm like, Jesus, man.
This dude hates me.
So I went inside. I was like, Sam was just a real dick to me.
I feel terrible.
I told Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, and he was like, Sam's like a nice guy. Like I like Sam. But so
Jeremiah
out of
Sher?
character, and I was like, the energy, man. He just said it with like a fuck you energy. And obviously, to you, you're just like, yeah, wherever, like being so pleasant and banal.
Oh my God.
And in my head, I concocted this story of like, Sam fucking hates me, dude. He hates me because I'm young.
I've caught myself doing that even recently with people where I look back on interactions and I'm like, oh, this guy's just not thinking about me. You know?
Yeah. Why would you be thinking about it?
Right.
Sure.
To you, because you're someone who's done comedy, so you as a guy who's done comedy, and me as like 1 year in, I'm like, this is so important for my show.
Sure.
Sam, it's Sam. When does Sam want to go?
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to be helpful and just go wherever you need.
Sure.
But you also know you're like, he's a showrunner. He's probably stressed.
Yeah.
I don't want to like waste his time with like, well, I could go here. I just want to say wherever you need me.
Yeah.
But in my head, that's the last thing I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted you to give me a soliloquy on, well,
I've got to make
Instead,
another
you
show.
sent Jamie into a spiral.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I have the show, and now Sam Evans doesn't like me.
For like months later, and Leland was your friend. I'm like, he's a dick. Why are you friends with him? And I'd only had the one interaction with you.
my
It was just
God.
based off of totally nothing.
Oh my God.
It's such a new comic thing to do.
Yeah.
To just project that.
Yeah.
Very vividly.
Oh, big time.
Very vividly.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Were you like, I'm getting the image of like a kind of cool like band kid, like you're doing the rock shows, you're working homecoming. Who were you like in the classroom though?
Funny, I would say.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You're like okay.
Kind of class clownish. I was like a bit of a slacker class wise. Like I knew I could pass the tests and stuff. So I just didn't do the work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say kind of popular, but not very. I remember our friend group was like 2 rungs down from the uber cool.
Yeah, you're like, oh, one day, if they invite me,
Yeah.
I'm in. I've made it.
Did you go to their parties and stuff, or were you not quite
Not
there?
really. We would rub shoulders and like, it's not like they would like fuck with us and be like, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, you
They
weren't
were-
that far down.
Yeah. They were like friendly enough, but I was like, yeah, clearly we're not.
Yeah.
We're not them. And I
Yeah.
remember I would have friends be like, I'm going over to like JP's house tonight. And I just wanted to be like, stop it. You're not them. And that's okay. You know, like
As a 16-year-old, you're just trying. You want to be accepted, but this is who loves you.
These
Truly.
are your real people.
I remember feeling that I actually like, I want to call my friend right now and be like, remember when you used to do this? Like, it's crazy.
You're kind of a loser.
Why couldn't you just been happy with like, we weren't like the worst.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting because in high school, I wanted to be cool.
Sure.
And post high school, I don't hang out with any of the kids I hung out with in high school. I hang out with the group that you're talking about, that you were in.
Yeah.
The people I wanted to hang out with, but I was like, but I wouldn't be cool if I hung
Right,
out.
'cause
But
you-
it doesn't make sense. And as a kid, you don't know that it just doesn't matter if you're cool or
You
not.
were a cool kid in high school,
Yeah,
right?
I was a cool kid. Yeah. I was in that group, and everyone was kind of mean and like cutting and just like douchey
Yeah,
because
it
it's
sucks.
like the top of the hierarchy. They're like, that's their thing.
Yeah. You
And-
don't know how to just be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had friends that I liked way more, but I, like to hang out with, but I'm like, but you can't do that. That's just not a good idea. But there's no consequences.
Yeah. You just think that they're.
Yeah. You think that something's going to happen.
Sure. And and this is not true across the board for the coolest of the cool. and I'm clearly not for you, but like in my hometown, most of those people just stayed in my hometown.
Yeah.
And I will,
Yeah.
not all the time,
Yeah.
but every once in a while, I'll like go on Facebook and I'll be like, yeah, there you are, you fucking idiot.
Loser.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that is true. The coolest of the cool, because for us, I don't know about you, but it was like they all got into drugs. We got into drugs and sex earlier than everyone else.
Sure.
But then obviously, because, well, I know now about addiction, but like if you get in like before like 21, it's bad. And then before 18, it's like really bad.
Yeah.
And all those kids now are like addicted to some drug.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of the same drugs we did in high school.
Yeah.
But that's like what happens when, and they all still live in Philly and they just have this specific life.
Sure.
That's not.
But when you're like 2 rungs below, you're like you like kind of wish you were part of it, but then at the same time, you're more of like the intellectual cool.
Yes.
I feel like
Yes. Yeah.
Intellectual cool. And also like once high school's done and you start to adjust to like college life,
Real.
you're like, oh,
Yeah.
well, goodbye, everything I worried about then.
Yeah.
You know, like-
Because then once you're in college and older, it's like it's not cool just to do drugs. It's cool to hang out with people you like and like have a good time hanging. But in high school, it's just the like experiences that other people hadn't had that you had that made you cool.
Yeah,
But once
that
everyone's
is so
had them,
true.
it's lame to be like doing drugs all the time. You're like, let's just like
Yeah.
enjoy let's like play video game or like hang out at the
and
at the
lame to
football game
act
and-
like it makes you better.
yeah.
You know?
It's so lame. Yeah.
that is crazy. That is kind of what like separates it. I've never thought about it like that, but it's like, oh, I've drank, I've had sex,
Yeah.
and people are like, fuck, they're the coolest person ever.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the interesting thing who was I talking to about this recently? But we were talking about like the word, Lucas, we were talking about the word cool. And he was like, you gotta meet my friend. He's really cool. And I'm like, I don't really like cool people. And he's like, no, he's really nice and like fun to hang out with. And I kept projecting like a high school cool, like a kid smoking a cigarette. Yeah, like a douche with like sunglasses in a Corvette or something.
disagreeable prick.
Yeah, disagreeable people. A guy people hate. That's what I was projecting.
That's
and I met
funny.
the guy and he's like the sweetest, coolest, like
Yeah.
the nicest guy.
Like, oh yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you, when you said talk of like people who have had sex and have done, do you remember? Because I vividly remember this happening a couple times where like I hadn't hung out with some of my friends over the weekend, and then I would go back to school on Monday, and the gossip would be that I vividly remember this with my friend Nate. I won't say his last name. Yeah, I will. Bishop, you're not going to hear this. Maybe he will.
We'll bleep it. Too, but
He's actually one of our main listeners.
he's
should
he's
not
our
have said
only
that.
Patreon subscriber.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send it to him because I do think this is very funny. I vividly remember Nate was like would ride that line between our group and like the coolest of the cool.
Yeah.
So he was at like one of those parties over the weekend, and I remember showing up on a Monday morning and everybody being like, "Nate had sex with Renee," and you were like, "What?" It was like the first of our friends
Oh,
to like
shit.
lose his virginity,
Yeah.
and I was like, "How could he not talk to me about this? He's never even talked to her." I was like so hurt by it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Man.
Yeah, when that happens, you like feel like elevated, like out of your body. You're like, I have something over other people. I do remember that feeling.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, this is
That's the
this has
worst.
happened.
That's the worst thing because when you're going through it, it's really an alone experience because your friends go through it and you think of it as like a us because like the first time I did drugs, it was like all us experiencing it
Right.
together.
Yeah, you're not having an orgy the first time.
not the first time. So it's just
We did it, guys.
Yeah.
Woo, we
Yeah.
all fucked, all 20 of us.
You think it's American Pie, but it's not American Pie.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
kind of an alone, and you feel like a loser for a little bit.
Sure.
And then you do it, and it's not good, and you're like, "What the fuck?" This.
And then
this
you
is
almost
why,
like don't even tell people that because they're like, oh,
Yeah.
was it?
And you're like, yeah, it was. You know,
Yeah.
it was amazing.
Yeah.
You guys lost your virginities in high school?
Yeah. I was senior year though to a
Senior.
girlfriend.
I was
Okay.
senior year
Very
to a
good
girlfriend
decision.
also. Yeah.
Honestly,
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
That feels healthy.
I'm glad that I did that.
Yeah, we got to like learn together.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And she was a virgin too at the time. Sorry, not she. No, it was she. Just like I'm gay, but it wasn't that funny.
You apologize because you misremembered. Oh, sorry. It was a dude. My bad.
Oh shoot, it was my boyfriend. Yeah, we dated for like a year. No, but he was so hot. No, no, but she. It was like good. Yeah, you learn together, and you don't feel inexperienced. I actually had a chance to lose my virginity to someone else the day before I started dating this girl, and I chose not to. I was like, I want to lose it to someone I love. And then I lost it to someone I love. I was like, that feels like a good decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
It
for
is-
you.
It is funny how that can happen in high school, though, so quickly of like, you're almost about to have sex with someone, and then the next day you're just dating someone else.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It was literally, that was exactly what happened.
Yeah.
It was so funny because it was our first date the next day. And so we'd never gone on a date.
oh, you'd never. Oh, right. But then it's like
No,
that
but
thing
I
of-
mean, that day I asked her to be my girlfriend, like the first date.
yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You were locked in?
Yeah. Well, I'd been in love with her for like 2 years, this girl.
Really?
Who I lost my virginity to.
That's also the high school speed. It's like nobody in high school is like, well, we've been on like 6 dates, and I feel like, you know.
I think we're ready to take the next step.
High school's like, well, I said hi, so we're engaged.
You overanalyze
6
things
dates.
so much in high school. Of like, you'll be like, oh, but we had this interaction in math class. Like, I think there's like something there. Like, could you talk to her friend to talk to her? Like,
it would be so funny to analyze it though, like as adult, like kind of with adult analysis. What does it mean when like his dad drops him off and his mom's not there, but the next day when they pick you up, they're both in the car? What does that mean about your relationship? Does that mean we're dating?
He hung up really quickly last night, but I heard his mom say, you have to go. So, do you think he told her? He told her.
gave her a time limit. Mom, if I've been on the phone for 5 minutes, tell me I have to go.
Do you think he's cheating?
With his mom?
His mom sounds hot. I hate it.
I'm so jealous of his mom. Gets to see him every day.
He has like a roommate. I think it's his brother, but like,
I remember my friends would be like, we talked for so long on the phone, like expressing how deep the relationship was getting with the girl in high school. And you were like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, we like fell asleep on the phone together.
Yeah.
It's like, cool, man.
what does that mean? Like, I used to do that too. It was
Yeah.
interesting because just as a guy, maybe it's different for different people, but as a guy, I in high school was like, if I'm talking to any girl for this long, it's like a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Sure.
I didn't have close friends who I talked to on the phone that were women. If they were my friends and they were women, we would just hang out.
even
I would
like
talk
a-
to male friends on the phone, but it was just a weird, different thing.
But even like if there was a sustained text conversation for
Yeah.
long enough,
Yeah.
I'd be like, holy
Wow.
shit.
Yeah.
This is really happening.
This is crazy. You'd reread them.
Oh my God.
that was the worst because you just that's where you
Sure.
overanalyze
Yeah.
so much.
Reread or like I remember like AIM in like middle school, like, because when you would log off, you'd lose it. So if I had like a really good, if I had a really good session, I'd copy and paste it into a Word doc.
Oh, really?
I did that. I bet you I could probably find somewhere printed off conversations with
Printed?
like, with crushes.
From Instant
From
Messenger or from
AIM. Yeah.
Yeah,
Instant Messenger. Do you, I bet if I heard the sound, it would like give me a boner right now. But do you remember I used to set an alert for when like a crush would come online and it would be the cash register ka-ching. So they'd
it does ring, yeah.
come online and it would be like ka-ching. And I'd be like, oh my God.
But then you're like, I gotta wait 5 minutes before I make. It
100%.
can't be too.
Yeah.
Can't be too.
Can't be
Yep.
eager.
Yep.
Made that
They
mistake.
log off in 3 minutes.
No, that actually would happen. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
Actually,
Damn it.
I missed my window.
you'd
Yeah.
get the noise, and you'd be like, okay, I'll wait, and then they log off. You're like, I missed the opportunity.
And you can't be the creep who messages them when they're offline.
yeah, and then they get back. Hey, were you just
So,
on?
yeah, so weird.
What's going on with your connection? LOL.
Oh my god!
When did you lose your virginity?
The summer before my senior year.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
That's a great
Was it
time
like
to
a
lose it.
camp?
That's like a movie time to lose it.
Was it a camp sitch?
before you go off to college?
It wasn't a camp sitch.
Oh wait, before your senior year of high school?
Before my senior year of high school.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
And she was a year older, so before she went off to college, Emily Sapkovich. Everybody's getting a name drop.
wow, damn.
Yeah. And she was like, it was like a friend of a friend, and I knew her, and I couldn't believe that she like. I remember I was like floored the night we first like kissed. I didn't see it coming. I was like, oh my.
Because she was so much hot, or like you didn't think you could?
Yeah, it didn't seem like an option.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah,
That's
it was
the
really
best
cool.
kind of surprise.
Yeah, that
especially
is
in high
awesome.
school.
That's like that literally is like a movie.
For sure.
Yeah, like an 80s movie.
Yeah, I was floored.
I've never heard of that really ever.
Yeah.
Because in my high school, if you were a kid who like could never imagine it, you certainly didn't get with that girl. That never, I can't think of one example of that happening.
That was in part, our school was like 90 to 100 a grade.
Very small.
So it's, yeah.
Yeah. I think it was that thing of where, because it's not an option, it works to your advantage because you're completely yourself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you're just like laughing, joking around.
Yeah.
You're not,
Especially as like a funny kid.
yeah. You're not trying to be cool. You're just like,
True.
what's up?
That's true.
Yeah.
You're not trying to be cool, but you go, what's up?
You know,
is
like,
just-
like a
just
cool
me.
guy.
Like a cool good.
Me being me.
And she's like, God, that is cool.
Emily, you want to like sit or whatever?
She's like, this guy seems really self-possessed.
Did you guys date, or was it just a summer fling?
It was like a
before she went
summer
off?
fling, and I was like in love with her, and I was like, let's date, let's make it work long distance. And then towards the end of the summer, I found out that she was also like seeing her manager at Panera Bread. So it was like this like catastrophic heartbreak. Where
Was he like in his 20s or like way older?
he was like a college age guy, and
Kind of
I
creepy on his part, but yeah.
a little creepy on his part,
Yeah.
yeah. And I remember like I went full like I would chain smoke cigarettes after
Really?
she done. Yeah. I remember one night I like made myself sick from chain smoking cigarettes.
And were you just alone thinking about her?
Yeah. And I was just brooding, and it was the
Damn.
worst because also I remember I stopped hanging out with my friends that summer, and all my friends were like, "This sucks. It sucks that you are this way right now."
You stopped hanging out with them to hang out with her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah.
gotcha.
That's a
Yeah.
classic high school thing.
Yep.
But okay, so she that's brutal, dude. That is
Especially
brutal.
'cause that
Especially
was-
and at that age, for some reason it's worse when it's an older guy.
For sure.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you're a freshman, sophomore, like even younger high school, and you just wish you could date the girls in your grade, and they're just going
Yeah,
for the
they're
seniors,
going
and you're just
above.
like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's because like I think no matter what, currently like you can't do anything the way that they can because they're just older.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right.
And like you said, he's probably kind of a piece of shit. You know, he's like an older dude dating
Probably
a
a
girl
creep, yeah.
just
About
out
to
of high
Dude,
school.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
the craziest story about that. In our senior year of high school, we had a friend in our friend group who, because we would go senior year, or we wouldn't, but the women would go to the frats at Penn and like party senior year of high school at the fraternities at this college nearby. And she started dating one of the fraternity members. And we were like, does he know that she's in high school? Even at the time, we were like, that's weird. He was like a
Was he
senior.
like a senior?
And
Oh,
she was
Jesus.
a senior. And we were like, that's so fucking weird. And we met him, and it was kind of brutal because we were like, he's such a fucking loser. Like
He was
we
trying
made
to
fun of
impress
him.
your friend group?
Yes,
Oh,
and we
God.
still rejected him. We're like, he's just kind of a loser. Like, date someone who's 22.
Yeah.
Such a fucking loser.
That's really
He would come around and make jokes, and we'd be like,
Wait, he'd come to hang out with you and your friends, like,
yeah, because they were dating. They
in
like
the
were really
suburbs?
dating. Yeah,
Oh,
they were
geez.
seriously dating. He had a car and would like come sometimes hang out with us. And it was so funny because it may as well have been like her younger brother the way we treated him.
Yeah.
Just like, this guy's here is such a loser.
Hey, Jake, you coming to the frats? They're having a party this week. No, I'm going to hang out in the suburbs with some high schoolers.
They're just like, yeah. Cool, man.
Well, that was the crazy thing. He was in a fraternity there. So-
yeah.
We went one time because she got us in, and we found out we are like, oh, he's a loser in his fraternity.
Oh, of course he is. Of course he is.
yeah, oh, he's got, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I'm sure those guys were like, Jake, you're fucking weird. You're dating a high school senior.
Yeah. Why did you bring these kids here?
Yeah. Well, Jake, why are you just some random high schoolers? One of my friends was in the grade below us. There was like an 11th grader at this frat party.
It's also
And
like
they're
when you're that
and all the
age,
frat dudes are like, what the fuck are you doing?
they're like 6 years older than you. But then there's also like when you're that age, you have so little control
Yeah.
over alcohol
Yeah.
that it's just a bunch of high schoolers puking in their frat. You're
Yes,
like, what
that's
the fuck is
that's
happening?
exactly what
Yeah,
happened.
of course
we just
it
had to
is.
take care of our friends that night. We played Pong with them, and we were like annoying. They're like, "Can we just play like a chill game?" And we're like, we like called everything bounce or what do you call it?
They're like, that's not even the rules.
Yeah,
Like,
heating up. No, oh god, these kids are lame.
yeah.
But he was still a loser in our friend group in high school.
That's,
Yeah.
I wonder what that dude's up to right now.
Oh god, probably still dating high school seniors if I were to guess.
That's one thing I won't miss is I don't know about the beer pong culture. Moving into college was like so aggro.
Yeah.
And like I remember dudes like trying to start fights over shit like that, and it's like, what are you doing? We're here to get drunk.
I know.
You know?
That was I played on the baseball team, and that was us.
We
were causing all of that at our college.
Really?
We had such a reputation. I remember one time we went to someone else's house party and we got on the pong table, and they were literally like cocky because they just won, and they're like elbowing each other, and they're setting up the cups, and they look up and they go, "Oh fuck, we're playing the baseball team."
Really?
They literally said that out loud. They're like, "We don't stand a chance. They're going to dominate us."
And you were like, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to just get off the table now? Or do
Yeah.
wanna
Like you guys
play?
can, we're so good at beer pong.
So good at beer pong. We did that too with beer pong's such a lame one because it's just lame. We did that with
I played
beer
like
die.
2 weeks ago,
Have you ever
but-
played beer die?
I don't know if I played
Beer night is much better. Yeah.
That's it's more of a sport. Like it almost goes into the realm of sport because it requires so much athleticism to be good.
Wait,
You throw
I
a
didn't
die
play
15 feet in the air, and then you have to land it on their sliver of table. It bounces on their table, and they have to catch it before it hits the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like in a lunge, and like I didn't actually
It's like
play that until
it's kind of like playing
after
defense in
college.
baseball or basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a similar, we called it like drunk ball or crazy ball.
This sounds great already.
You're,
Drunk ball or
it's just like whatever beer can you want to drink out of, regular like tall boy, and your partner's on the other end of the table next to the opposing teammate. And the goal is you just throw it and you hit either one, their ball or your ball. But if you hit it and it ricochets, your partner at the other end just starts chugging. And they go until either person on the other team grabs the ball and touches it to the table side.
Okay.
So the goal is to drink.
Finish first.
Yeah, to finish,
Yeah.
which is always to me a better drinking game. You know? But yeah, it's just like pandemonium. You know, you're running over stuff, dodging, trying to like hit it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fun. Was that a college one?
Yeah, later college too.
Yeah.
It was like when we had our own houses, didn't have to go to like frat parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you could just have that gathering of like 10, 15, 20
Yes.
people that you want there.
Yeah.
And you're just
20,
gonna play
20
more
people
fun.
would be like the upper limit.
Yeah,
I remember
exactly.
that too. When parties started to get smaller but better.
Yeah. That was a big moment because before, when you're younger, you're like, I just want as many people. In high school, we were like, let's do a Project X party. Just invite fucking everyone. And then
then
there's
you
people
realize
you don't
how-
know, and you're like, don't touch my TV and don't go
Yeah.
in that room because my dad would be angry. But then like you start like later in college, you're like, let's just do our friends and get drunk because that's more fun anyway.
I remember that shit in college where like sometimes football players would show up, and that was like scary because you'd be like, well,
Where'd you
here,
go?
The University of Cincinnati.
Oh, that's like a real
Yeah, they're like D1.
Yeah,
good
that,
at
and that was
football.
when they were on the come up too. I remember because I got there freshman year. They had fired Bob Huggins, who was the basketball coach, and he had like built the
So
program.
he shouldn't have been coaching baseball or football. That doesn't make any sense.
But it was like they fired Bob Huggins, so the whole 4 years I was there was like rebuilding for the basketball program. Oh, but that was when the football program actually started to be like
I see.
somewhat competitive.
Yeah.
And they came to one of your parties?
They would show up periodically. Like I didn't know them, but you would just be like drinking, having like a great time with like your friends, and then just the biggest dude you've ever seen. And sometimes some of that I do actually remember. My friend Katie ended up marrying one of them. This guy Jeff Linkenbach,
Wow.
who's really a sweet dude, and I think he went pro a couple years.
Wow.
But then occasionally there would be like other dudes. You're like, this guy's gigantic and a fucking
And
cunt.
a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, guess we just have to wait until he's done being here.
Well, imagine going to a D3 school where the football team the offensive line is 5'8", 225. They're just like little squat like guys that are coming in.
You mean that was
Density.
you? That was you guys?
Really?
Is that what you're
at Dickinson.
saying?
Yeah, there's so many football players where you look at them and you're like, God,
not-
this is not
Yeah.
how it should be.
It's kinda
But,
lame.
Yeah.
We had a basketball team at UCSB that was because we didn't have football.
Yeah.
It was like there was no football program.
Yeah.
So we had the basketball team, and the first night it's like pretty much a riot when the first night the freshmen arrive. It's syllabus week, so no one has classes, and the freshmen have never gone out before. And the town that UCSB is in is called Isla Vista, and there's like two colleges nearby, so it's like 20,000 only college age kids. I went back last week and it's the exact same
For that
so
week?
when it's No, for syllabus week,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
when I was back, yeah. But anyway, I didn't go back for that reason. I had a show. but
Okay.
I went back and like the babes are just as hot.
And I'm dating a freshman.
You become the guy. That
She's
gets
actually
in the
like
cradle.
really cool.
No, she's like really mature for her age, though. Like,
Her friends kind of make fun of me, but she's sick. So we went to this like essentially riot, like a legal riot. And everyone was drunk on the street. The only law is you can't sit down. If you sit down, they take you to jail. I don't know why.
what?
Makes
Is that
no,
true?
Makes no sense. Yeah.
Wait, jail?
Jail. Like the drunk tank for 24 hours. That happened to one of our friends this night, actually. But so anyway, we go this night. The first party we walk into, it's like the first one on that street, which is Oceanside. So anyway, it's on a cliff. One person dies every year from just drunk falling off the cliff. Every year. It's so not a good idea.
Every year somebody dies?
You should go because I went back and I was in one of the houses that was on the Oceanside because a comic who goes to the school lived there. And I just looked over to a cliff. Like,
Really?
And he was like, yeah, someone
the
like
back
fell
of their
off
house.
one of these this year and died. I'm like, that happens every year. Why do they not?
That's so crazy.
Yeah, the back of the house is just like fully a cliff.
Yikes.
And anyway, so we get to the first house on this street, which is like the big party street, and it's the basketball team. And we go upstairs, and it's all like tall black dudes.
Sure.
And they're like, "Yo, you guys out." Immediately, and I was like, "Yeah, you got me." But my friend,
so funny.
my friend who I'm still friends with to this day lives in Bushwick, 6'3". He tried to fight them, and they literally threw him downstairs.
Yeah.
Like threw him down a set of stairs.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Everyone else was like, we get the picture. He was like, no.
You out. That's the perfect reaction to you out.
Yeah,
you're right.
You out. They were so chill about it. They're like, yeah, what's happening now is you're leaving. That was an interesting dynamic. There was no like locals. It was only, that's why UCSB is weird. I went to the two most opposite schools. UCSB, huge state school, only college kids live in that area. There's literally no one else. NYU versus NYU, where I transferred to, which is only commuters. No one like goes to college essentially. They all live in like their separate apartments.
Yeah, there's
It's
not
kinda
like an
a job.
on-campus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not at all. It's more like an office. Like you
How
go
long were you at
commute in and
UCSB?
back. A year and a half.
Okay, and then you came.
Freshman year and half a sophomore year, and then I transferred, and then you were a huge dick to me. And
Yeah. Changed your
Full circle.
college experience.
changed it
For the worse.
That was the weird part about college for me is like I was like 20 years old, and like my best friend was Jeremiah, like 5 years older, just like some comedian.
Yeah. Because you were just doing stand-up right away.
Yeah. When I came here, I didn't like meet anyone from NYU. I
Yeah.
just met like comics.
Sure.
Yeah. Wow. Like Randall is my friend, but he's also like graduated 2 years before that.
Yeah.
It's like random as shit.
Yeah.
It's just
You were kind of the reverse of that, like, creepy pen frat guy.
yeah.
Where you
I
were
was the
leaving the
younger
school to be like, no, but you were like, yeah, I'm going to hang out with my friends who are like 25-year-olds.
everyone at NYU. That's weird.
That's
Yeah.
better way to be.
Yeah, to hang out up.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you probably did that, right? Because weren't your brother's friends kind of your friends a little? Wouldn't you sometimes hang out with? Because sometimes when your friends were over, Tyler, I would hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
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 But with comedy, that became the thing.
Yes.
When I started doing comedy, most of my friends were older,
Yeah.
and then gradually it's actually
Yeah, flips.
turned. Yeah, and now I do feel, depending on the room I walk into, I'm like, I'm a fucking loser right now.
But oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm closer to 40, and then I'll see, and I don't mean it in any disrespectful way, but it's like somebody who you could say is my peer,
Yeah.
and they're 21, and I'm like, what am I doing? You know?
Yeah, it's you're doing this podcast. The last guy who walked out was John Kennedy, who's like 22 years old.
Yeah,
I
and
get what
know,
you
and I
mean.
know John, you know?
Yeah.
And great guy. But
Yeah.
I'm just like, what am I doing in my life?
Yeah. There is a weird thing about
I
comedy
get
where like
that.
age kind of squeezes into a flat circle because you are hanging out with people that are so much younger than you and so much older than you.
It's more about in comedy. It's more about like how long you've been doing it.
Yes, that's true.
I feel.
Yeah.
Because like I know people that are 30 plus that like ask me for advice because they're 1 year in, you know, and it really feels like they're younger than me.
For sure. Yeah.
And with John, he's like the same amount into comedy I am.
Yeah.
And it feels like we're the same age, even though he's like 4 years younger than me.
Or it'll be like younger guys who are good,
Yeah.
and I like them comedically, but they're like just crazy because they still haven't grown out of that aspect of their lives.
Right.
And so they're like coming apart at the seams and like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
You're young.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
It's like Leland.
Yeah. Notorious loose cannon.
Leland Long, who goes wild. Notorious loose.
Bit of a wild card. Unpredictable.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Sam, thank you so much for doing it. Anything you want
Yeah.
to plug?
I got an album. It's called Sweet Baby Boy.
Oh, yeah. It's such a good album.
It's available everywhere. Thank you. Yeah, listen to it.
I listened to it. You know I did. I complimented you.
You did. Yeah. I appreciate it.
And that's when you realized you were friends.
That's right.
No, I thought he was a douche the way he received the compliment.
I was like,
no.
Fine, thanks. That was on my phone.
Still on your
Thanks
You're on your
for
phone this whole podcast. What the hell? He's still a dick.
Yeah, whenever you guys want to start, that's fine with me.
Oh, you want me to put my phone away? Okay.
No, but for real, Sam is a very, very talented comedian. Very, very, very funny.
And thanks for coming in for therapy.
We've got to go.
Yeah, we got to go. You should probably come back next week. We
Yeah.
just
What is
scratching
the
the surface
podcast
there.
called?
Excuse me. We have to. We would love
Yeah,
to explain
we're
it.
professionals,
But we do.
but we
Yeah. The
actually-
hour's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You-
I think
you-
you'll get
you
an
will have to
invoice.
pay
You'll get
for
an
the next-
invoice.
yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate you coming
But
on.
we can talk about that next week. Thanks, Sam.
Thanks.